What is your favorite modality? If we're going into the self-help world and we want to get some help with a practitioner or we want to do some work with ourself, what modality should we choose? And if people ask me what my favorite modality is, it hurts my heart a little bit because it's like someone saying to you, which one's your favorite child? And I've gotten help from my different modalities over the years, and they're all slightly different and they're all really useful. And when you have a toolbox or a family of modalities, you can't just kind of pluck one out and not really be aware of the others and to use the others. So this little video this morning is about my 4 modalities that I use and love the most and the differences in them. And so the first one that I would have to gravitate towards is Reiki. I learnt Seishun Reiki, and I believe it has the reputation for releasing negative emotions without reliving them. So it's a really good modality for balancing our chakras and our auras and bringing love and healing into our life. And the reason I love Reiki is because it nurtures the soul. And many people in life these days don't nurture their soul enough. And so we're all worried about our physical body being healthy, but we neglect our energetic body, and Reiki does that. So I love Reiki. However, my husband says to me, Heather, you don't really do Reiki. Not just Reiki. And it's true, because there's these other modalities that I learned, and I learned them in tandem back in 2004, whereas I didn't do Reiki until 2012. Was my first exposure to that. But the other modalities I learned were TimelineTherapy, Hypnotherapy, and NLP, and I learned them through a wonderful man called Dr. Tad James, and he developed TimelineTherapy back in the 1980s as a combination between NLP and hypnotherapy, and then he taught them all together. And his wonderful training techniques allowed him to bring all that learning together into one modality in a way. And then, of course, on top of that, I've brought the intuitive Reiki to life with it. And so the hypnotherapy, it's reprogramming the mind. It's the language of hypnotherapy is beautiful to speak to the mind and to make changes to the mind. NLP is all about shifting patterns. Neuro-linguistic program is all about how we take information in, we delete, we distort, we generalize it, we run our internal representation of what's happening and we push it back out at the world and create our reality. And then timeline therapy, when you start working with your timeline and how we store our experiences and our emotions on a timeline through generations and even past lives and into the future, it releases old baggage and it allows people to grow. And it's a very, very, very powerful modality. So when I'm asked which is my favourite, it's a little bit hard, because I find even when I'm doing Reiki with a client, sometimes a negative emotion will rise itself to find resolution, and it's blocking their chakra in some way, or it's sitting in an aura, and we can see the energy of it there is unsettled, and it's not giving positive guidance to that person. And so we can use these other modalities within that Reiki session to actually release the energies and to get new learnings and to bring positive learnings and positive energies into that person's body. And of course, it brings change and it brings choice. Change and choice, two beautiful words. And it makes us lighter, it makes us happier. It sometimes brings a tangible difference, and other times a very subtle difference that we just notice that we're acting and reacting in more positive ways in life. So if you'd like to know more about these modalities, subscribe, follow along. I'm doing a bit of a series, I guess you could say, on predominantly timeline therapy at the moment. So look for timeline therapy in the subject of my videos and you'll learn more. And it's always a safe and fun place to learn. Have a great day. It's nice that you've been here.